this is Amy. Thanks so much for stopping back. Tonight I'm going to show you another flower that can be painted easily with a round brush. This again is a part of my brushstroke series. This will be number 2. And just a very simple, easy pattern. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Tonight I will be using yellow citron. I've used the pure orange and some of the burnt umber combined with a little bit of wicker white to create part of the center of the flowers. For the petals of the flower, I'm actually using cinnamon and yellow light. Also in the center, I'll be doing some little crosshatch kind of design in the center of the flower using the yellow light. What I'm going to do first of all to get started is use my Small Scruffy Brush. Not sure what the size is. It's a folk art or a plaid one stroke type of scruffy brush. Not sure the size because the coating is actually peeled off. I'm going to go ahead and use my new nail fine line brush that I just got yesterday. Use my number 4 round brush and a number 10 flat brush. Alright, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and start out by tapping the centers in for the flowers. I'm going to do 5, as I've mentioned in my previous videos. I like to do odd numbers, which I think is pretty common when you're designing or painting something, is to use the odd numbers as much as possible. I'm not sure. Maybe that's just my like, but I'm just kind of just gently tapping it in. And I'm going to go over here, create another one. Get some more paint on my brush. So just doing some tapping. I really need to get some new scruffy brushes because they're actually easier ways to do this to make a better shape. But I'm going to start off by just using this one. A lot of my scruffies are pretty worn. This way I have something to pull my petals to, because when you're doing the stroke I'm going to show you tonight, again, is with a round brush, similar to last night's video, but once again pulling the petals towards the center instead of from the center out. You probably could do it either way, whatever you feel comfortable with, but I'm choosing to do it this direction. Actually, I want to look at that. And again, the sample that I showed you, my sample for tonight on the video, will be similar, not identical. And I try to remember to say that just for the mere fact that I don't want anybody saying, well, that doesn't look anything like it. Well, it's really not intended to be identical at all. It's just to give you an idea of what can be done and how easy it might be. Now, with the petals for the flower, I'm going to actually double load my brush. So I put on the round brush, I put some of the cinnamon, and then I'm just going to tip in, get a tip with the yellow light on it. And I'm going to start with the petal that's kind of in the center of the bottom of the flower. And again, this is doing the type of petal where you kind of push it down, kind of pull it a little bit, and then bring it up to the flower. And on this, I do actually keep loading the brush, because when you're working on paper, it just doesn't move as nicely as it does, flows as nicely as it would if you were doing it on glass. Now if you get one of the petals and you don't like either the combination of the color, how it came out, you can go back over it, or if you have too much yellow, too much of the brown, just keep doing it until you get the desired look. And it might even be just kind of stroking over it again. A very simple design. Again, just so that you understand that my designs are not intended to be anything that's difficult. I want to be someone that just about anyone can paint the designs that I'm creating. Just want to encourage people to paint and not be afraid of it. And that one kind of gave a little twist to the brush. You don't necessarily have to do that. Once again, I'm going to start with a petal that's going to be towards the bottom center, pulling it up. And then, you can make these different lengths too, kind of give them some, where they have some movement, kind of. Over like that. And I'm going to do another one up here and pulling it, and then I am kind of turning my brush on some of these. You don't have to do that, you just can push it down and then pull it up. I kind of like to give it a little twist. You will find that when you're painting on your own, you've got to find what feels right for you as the artist or the painter. And so something that is comfortable for me may not necessarily be comfortable for you. So keep that in mind, because I want you to understand that just because I'm giving you a demo, I am left-handed, so that's a big factor that you have to keep in mind. Being left-handed can actually, even for me to learn from somebody else, it can be a little frustrating at times, because how I am used to turning brushes and pulling them and that kind of thing, or which direction I start on when I'm starting a project. If you're right-handed, it's very possible you're going to start in the opposite direction. So if I'm starting off to the left, you might find yourself needing to start off to the right. Or if you're somebody that can paint either hand, or maybe you're kind of like me where I can do some things as a left-hander, and then there's some things that I can actually do right-handed. I'm not really sure, and not necessarily that I can do it both ways. So I don't know how common that is for somebody. It can be a little confusing at times depending on what it is you're doing. Okay, pushing it down, pulling it. Just want to give it a little bit more color. Too much of the cinnamon. Same thing with this one. This one's going to be a full flower. Push it down. I like to try to get more of a rounded tip. Pretty easy though. I hope you feel that it looks easy too. It sure is meant to be that way. If you're enjoying this series, or if you like my videos in general, please make sure that you click on the subscribe button. Make sure you're subscribed to my videos so you don't miss anything that I'm listing. Right now, I'm trying to focus on getting more videos on my channel. I will continue with the glass painting, but this is just something that I want to keep going with and encouraging people to learn to do the brush strokes. Because they're pretty fun. It's kind of a good refresher. I like different painting styles. Right now I'm trying to teach myself how to paint with watercolors, and that definitely is a challenge. I'm not understanding why it's a challenge for me, to be honest with you, because I can draw a lot of flowers, and a lot of the watercolor that I'm viewing seems to be pretty simple or simplistic compared to some of the things I've painted. But for some reason, I get it on my paper and I'm looking at it like, oh good lord, it's a blob. Or, you know, can I really make this out? But the people that are teaching it seem to make it look so easy. It's like, why is that? And I'm a pretty determined person, so I keep sticking with it. And I'll get it. I'll get it. Eventually. I also like palette painting. Love, love, love that. Definitely like that a lot. Let me get on this one again. Alright, so once I've gotten basic flower painted, I'm going to dip my scruffy brush into the burnt umber, and I'm going to go back over the center and kind of make sure that all this makes sense and fits together, like where maybe the petals didn't completely meet up with the flower, so we don't have a lot of holes. Like I said, I definitely need to get some new scruffies. You might even want to consider tapping it off on your palette, just to make sure you're not putting it on too thickly. I'm going to kind of go over this a little bit. It's fine though. It's almost like trying to dry brush. You just want to tap it where it's going on, like that. Then what I'm going to do is take my brush, my little liner brush, and I'm going to go into the tips, or the flowers, and just do a little hatching. Doesn't have to be real dark. Kind of like making a tic-tac-toe board. And you can wait till the center dries a little bit, but again, for the purpose of the video, I'm just going to go right in and do it over the top. Again, I can see this giving it a lot of interest. It's not just a plain center. I also thought it would look cute with some dots around the edges, but I'm not going to do that. If you want to add some colored dots, you know, that go in like around here, you could do that as well. That's pretty easy to figure out. Alright, so let's go ahead. The next step is going to be to add the green in. I should say the greenery, the vines and the leaves, and tie these all together. Again, I'm just on this dipping my brush into the darker green, the Thicket, and then adding the yellow Citron onto it. Now I could I think I went the other direction before, but I could just do this. I think I'm going to come this direction because I kind of twisted my vine around. Like I said, when you're painting and you go ahead and you're adding more to it or doing it again, you might find something different that you want to do with it as opposed to what you originally did. That's fine. Definitely fine. And go ahead and just put that in here. And these really aren't very exciting, you know, stems. Just kind of, here we are. And then I'm going to pretend that it comes here. I mean, you could have like a number of main stems. Each flower could have a stem like a bouquet, however you wish to do it. But I'm just going to do it like this, making it look like they're all coming from the same, basically the same branch, the same main stem. Now when you're doing the leaves for this project, you could do kind of like the leaves I did last night, where it's basically, you know, pushing your brush down and pulling. I am going to turn over to my flat brush, and that's where I am going to add my leaves. Now this is kind of straight, I don't really care for that too much, but in my one prior I actually made it bend a little bit. Okay, so basically the leaves that I'm going to do for this project, I am going to just take my flat brush and kind of go on the tip and then pull it down. Still kind of doing a brush stroke, and then kind of doing it like that. Now, I did not do any on the opposite side. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I don't know how these are going to turn out, so bear with me here. It's kind of one of those things where like, okay, lordy, lordy, if I don't do it right, it'll be okay. Then you can just add somewhere in here. Or you could have just left this blank, you know, if you wanted to do that too. That would have been fine. Let me put some more of the lighter green in this. I don't know. I guess it's okay. So I accidentally stuck my finger in the last one. I don't know why I can't get the green on here. That's going to be too much. So it's so funny when you're going a direction on something. When you change it, go the opposite direction. It's kind of like, oh, that threw me off. And here, I'm just going to pull a couple here. I definitely do these better the opposite direction. And maybe I could, I'm definitely putting more leaves in this one than I did in my demo. Oh, I got that here. And then do that here. And you could do some vining too if you wanted, as far as like little whimsical. Do that one again. I'm going to actually bring this up a little higher. Do that, and then do this one. So you could see where, I mean, you can do the brush either way. Like that. I'm going to do a couple little ones here. It makes it cute. Now if you, like I said, if you like my videos, make sure that you share them. Give me a big thumbs up before doing so. tap on the subscribe button at the bottom. Make sure you hit the bell. That actually will make sure that you get notifications whenever I'm listing a new video. I just decided to put little leaves here at the top of each flower on the right side. No particular reason. And just kind of felt like I gave it some more color. Do a little bit on both sides. You could just limit it to 2 if you wanted, or like put a smaller one in there. Like I said, with the leaves, you're pretty much, however you want to do it, do it. I'm not real picky. Like that. And then I think I might want to do just a couple coming out of the bigger flower, the full flower. Maybe even a couple coming out this direction here. And that way you get a fuller painting. Now this is something that could be painted on a wine glass. I'm not going to do this as a painting for the wine glasses. This is just part of my brushstroke series, just so you know if that's what that's all about. Now I think we're done for this evening. Again, this is another demo of using a round brush to paint petals for flowers. And these I really don't have a name for either. Just creating. If you again have any questions, please make a comment below. If you have, I'm trying to think here, if you have a favorite project that you're excited about doing here soon, give me a shout out to what that project might be. If you have a channel, maybe indicate in your channel so we can come take a look at your work. That would be awesome. Alright, so for this evening, I'm going to say goodbye. Until the next video, please stay tuned. Have a good one.